Any traveler that went west was encouraged to kill any buffalo that came their way. Profit seekers sought for the animal until they slaughtered thousands purely of their hides. Pretty soon, others can just shoot them for sport, leaving all the remains to decompose or be eaten by vultures. At the end of the Civil War, nearly 15 million buffalo had died, and they never got their numbers back since. All of the Native American chiefs of the West mourned the near extinction of their main source of materials.
Well, I guess that was a bullseye.
It's a buffalo, you imbecile. Get me straight.
Farming was not the only reason to go to the West, for there was gold too. General George Armstrong Custer led an exploration group into the Black Hills of South Dakota. With new weapons like the Gatling gun at his disposal, General George felt confident enough to take on the Sioux in the Bighorn Mountains without reinforcements. He stumbled upon the main Cheyenne encampment and charged without this realization. Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse, the Native American chiefs, decided to take a stand against him, and the 7th Cavalry and Custer were quickly slaughtered. Backup arrived later and forced the chiefs to surrender. This was always known as the Battle of Little Bighorn. After Native American communities began hearing about the horrible tragedy, they decided that they needed to fight back. The Sioux then attacked 81 soldiers under the command of William J. Fetterman at the construction of Bozeman Trail, killing them all and mutilating their bodies. In result, Red Cloud and the U.S. agreed then to the 1868 Treaty of Fort Laramie, which brought about a short-lived peace. Wovoka, a Paiute holy man, supposedly received a message during the total eclipse from the Creator that an Indian Messiah would come and destroy the white men so the Indians would reclaim their land. Therefore, he and his followers meditated and performed the ghost dance. The whites feared a rebellion was on the uprise. A tragedy struck in the inclusion of the Lakota Sioux, as South Dakota residents asked for the end of the ghost dance to no avail. The army assisted. In fear, the Native Americans left the reservation, but the army mistook their leaving as an attempt to regroup and attack. On contact, the Sioux were relocated to Wounded Knee Creek, where eventually even more Native Americans were pointlessly murdered. The Native Americans that did not die faced diseases, alcoholism, and despair on their small reservations. The government changed direction on 1887, though, with the Dawes Severalty Act. Every Native family was offered 160 acres of land to farm with and be tribal land. The act was very much resisted, though, as farming in the West was very hard to do and needed much skill to do well, not to mention the losing of Native American culture. Overall, the Dawes Act was just seen as a way to civilize Native Americans into the way of the new American culture and the religion of Christianity. The Native Americans were forced to put their children into school so that they could be more like American citizens, but many resisted. If a student was not found attending, then officers would search the parent's house for the student. Many parents, though, thought this was just a matter of honor. The Native children that attended the schools were forced to wear American clothes and get their hair cut to appropriate lengths, and also given more American names. Soon, some Native Americans were considered enemies for accepting the American way and punishing those that did not. Soon, friends were turned into enemies, and this only got worse as the Dawes Act was inadequate. By the time the Dawes Act got revoked, alcoholism, poverty, illiteracy, and suicide rates were the highest for Native Americans than any other ethnic group in the United States. But they had been assimilated into the American culture.
Where are they now? They are living among us, average citizens, average heroes, quietly and anonymously continuing to make the world a better place.
Denied? You're denying my claim? Oh, I don't understand. I have full coverage.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hoganson, but our liability is spelled out in